Welcome back to another Sleep Token reaction, and this one's going to be not only very special, but a little bit bittersweet.
Yeah, I'm like pre-sad because I know this is the last song that we're listening to on this album. But I am equal parts excited because I'm looking forward to going back and just playing the hell out of this entire album, because I haven't heard a less than song. I want to go back and listen to it with the lyrics. I want to go back and listen to it in order. All of the people that have made comments about how you should listen to these songs, thank you for your passion and, willingness to share that. I think that there's several more listens that are going to open up new things, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. Again, this is no criticism or kind of snap back at anybody or anything, but, I had a few people who were quite vocal about the fact that we weren't necessarily listening in the order of the full album, but my counter to that is, well, the singles were released kind of wildly out of order, and I understand that's part of marketing, I understand that's part of teasing the album, but when you're creating content and, it's really exciting to get the community involved and to help them kind of help you get guided through this process, and to your point, there isn't a right and wrong, and we get to go and then in our own time, without cameras and lights on, go and just listen to it sitting on the couch and just kind of zone out and like succumb to the way that they had pieced it together. So very excited about that. And before we get stuck into this one, a lot of expectation, if I'm being honest, because of what Euclid was.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that's been on my mind since before any of the singles were released. I'm kind of like, that seemed like such a beautiful wrap up. It's like, how do you top that? Do you even try? Do you replicate the process? I don't know. Excited nonetheless, but this is where I get to kind of lean on my channel just a little bit and put the feelers out there. I haven't seen this band live. Neither has she. We've tried every single tour that they have to buy tickets, to get in queues, to do the VIP thing, to try all of it. It hasn't worked. And I'm not very connected in this scene. So if anybody knows anybody that I could reach out to for media passes or something to have my first Sleep Token experience, I would be forever in debt to you. Now, back to the music. I'm excited, babe. And
Me too.
I'm equally excited to listen to this as I am to listen to it with you. Infinite Baths. Let's see what you got.
When you plucked me from the grotto, sounding like a supermodel. When I would wake in staccato, no lightning in a bottle, just one eye on the target and 2 bricks on the throttle. I know now that even if I am frozen, timeless as a ghost in my nightmares of the ocean, the precipice I'm approaching. Well, you will empty the darkness, you will keep me in motion. I know now. Infinite baths washing over me at last. Feel the method in my madness. Feel the glory in my wrath.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, this one's gonna be tough.
It's already starting.
This one's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I've this band has taught your cold husband how to feel. It's pulling strings here. It almost feels sinful to kind of talk about technical elements of this, but it is what I set out to do with this, and I think it's important that I continue to do that. It's something that is important to me as well. I'm gonna go back one so we get that lead in.
Please.
Let's go. So 157. Remember that.
Okay.
This bit right up front here. I'm terrible with names. What's the song that goes dun 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 dun? Is that Euclid?
The night does not belong to God.
Yes, sorry. Which is
is Euclid. Okay. No, you're right.
Dude, I'm gonna
I know.
bust out of my skin right now.
You are. Yeah.
I know that this is it's a less syncopated thing, but it feels like it's deeply tied to that. Because it's that dun 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 dun. But then you've got this.
It's not.
It feels like an evolution of that melody. Again, welcome to the Overthinkers Club.
Maybe.
But important. The other thing I do want to say, because I want this, it's a very long song and I don't want to stop it too much, but this is important to mention before things go forward. Their purposeful, deliberate ability to use music as a backdrop. To use music as a backdrop to show just how centered the vocal can be and how it just grows and grows and grows and grows, and you end up just you start by looking right into the eyes of the vocal, and then you start looking all around you because it feels like the center point doesn't exist anymore. It's that advertising the space of the room before you walk into it, and then showing you just how big it is, filling it up and making you feel comfortable. It is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
Anything to add before hit play?
Nope.
Definitely, I could be stuck there.
dude. He's doing the fuck you didn't. He's doing. Let me just hear this piece quickly. 1 second.
Uh-huh.
If he's not shouting, will you halt this eclipse in me? Which is the lyrics in Look to Windward.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Is he shouting? Am I making this up?
Play it again.
I'm stopping there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You've heard the song before. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You guys have heard it? Please have heard it. Dude, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind with this. I don't know what you're picking up on there. I want you to tell me.
So much.
Dude, the only reason I'm so much more familiar with the lyrics of this album is one, ever since we've been waiting to react to these songs, and since the moment we reacted to the first batch and the singles, they've been on repeat everywhere we go. We're in bed listening to them. If you get in our damn car, you're a Sleep Token fan too now, huh? Doesn't matter. There's no passing the aux cord. It stays put, and it stays put on this shit. Now, the other thing, and this is actually something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it's very small. It's a very small thing. I'm asking for a pat on the back here. I have been watching. I never watch reactions. You know this. I never have. I never do. I don't care. Not because they're not good or blah blah blah. I do things differently. I want to do them my way. I've been watching a ton of reactions to the songs that I've already heard, and seeing, just like people do with us, catching mics to relive my moments through other people, and all different kinds, small channels, medium channels. And I've been writing them little comments being like, love your stuff. And I've been trying to shout them out. And that's why those lyrics are kind of ingrained in me, because it's that cyclic thing. He repeats that, will you halt this eclipse in me, like 3 or 4 times. And the screams are so brutal and guttural that it's almost hard to hear. But the percussive rhythm of it, I'm like, there's no way that's not it.
Yeah. The thing that I caught was dun 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 dun. Is that the summoning? I'm gonna get my butthole torn into if I'm wrong, but
I certainly hope not.
Well, me too. Devastating. But
that is, I mean, no, you are right. You are right. But again, to play devil's advocate here, that kind of breakdown percussive guitaring element is, there's only so many ways you can write that.
Yeah.
However, it does feel oddly specific. The only thing about the summoning piece is it's got this dissonant piece that they throw in towards the end of the phrasing. It's actually a really good pickup.
Here's what's happening. So
we're dying.
I am hearing so many nods of what I think are nods to not only other songs on this album, but other songs on previous. So many of them. And I don't know. I'm panicking because I'm going, there's too many to keep track. I probably am getting song references wrong because my brain's doing a backflip. I can't keep track of all of them. But when that happens, I mean, literally like one right after the other. When you're saying like, well, you know, you can only play things a certain way so many times. And
you have
then
a point. You have a point.
There's a point where it's not coincidence anymore. And, you know, as we all know, they're masters at inserting, you know, Easter eggs like crazy. So I feel like this is such a collection of them that I mean, I'm going to have to listen to this about 5,000 times to probably get all of them. But this is...
But
I can't breathe.
It always feels like an evolution of the thing. Like you're borrowing from pain to create a resolution in peace. Like it's this like nod to the thing, but it's not this like replication of it to a final degree. It's this like slight tweak on the thing. It's beautiful. Hey, pack a lunch. Huh? Okay, so I'm going to just go back 2 more because I did stop it in a point where it felt like there was a lot of build. I'm going to go back 3 more. So that's 30 seconds back now. That will allow us to kind of experience this build to the end, and we'll let it play out from here.
Okay. Just absorb all of it. Every last second.
I can't do this anymore. I can't. This is going to break me.
Hey, so they did insert the melody of Even in Arcadia.
They did?
I think
so. Is that when you picked it up there?
I think so. Yeah, the Zelda theme. I said Mega Man in our reaction, but
it's been eating her up inside. She's like,
my God,
said Mega Man. I meant
said
Zelda.
it, and then I saw comments, and I'm like, that's what I meant. I'm so dumb, but like, anyways, it's that. That it was just,
shit.
But it's so like. Just riding underneath.
It's one of those things where I wouldn't be surprised if there was ever an opportunity to sit down and speak with them or to speak with, an engineer or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised, and it needs to be from this album. I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to reference their entire library in this one track. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And it would be micro little moments, and most of them, ironically, would be just for the band to enjoy. because most of them are too specific and too compressed in the mixing process and the mastering process, more importantly. That guttural scream, that's almost like you get this like radio distortion filter where it's almost like everything around. So imagine your frequencies on bass and tops, like your treble. And as I'm speaking and I start to bring it in like this and it starts to sound like a sort of tube, if you do that and you add a high level of gain that it starts clipping, and then you put a slight distortion on that. And clipping is effectively distortion. It takes your sine wave and it shortens and smashes the top, shoves it together. It's such a perfect, just brutal leave out. And here's the irony. When that happens, and at the end of the song, when it has an exponential fade is something that doesn't linear go, it just kind of gets, the softer it gets over the time that it gets softer, the even softer it gets. I said that a very confusing way, but I think you get the point. Even then, and in the middle when that voice was, your mind is telling you that it's over silence, and it isn't. Yeah. It's over the atmosphere, the sound of the room. Yeah. There's a very big difference between absolute silence and perceived silence. And it's the difference between a dry vocal and a vocal with a reverb to simulate a room. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I suppose like in the concept is silence feels quite heavy. If you've ever been in, one of those rooms, what are they called?
It's an anechoic chamber.
Yeah. That silence is so deafening that it feels super heavy.
It's a great experience if you can ever do it. It's wonderful. It goes from feeling really awkward to really peaceful, and you can start to actually hear your heart and your blood in your veins. It's kind of crazy.
But I've never been, but that concept, like the silence is very heavy. It can weigh you down. It feels like
very good point.
You feel the tension of that. Whereas when you have that underlying atmospheric sound, or even like environmental sounds, but specifically like the really strong atmospheric, no matter how quiet it is, as long as it's there, it feels like weightlessness. It feels like you're floating. It feels so
very true.
It's interesting.
Wow. God, look at you. I don't have to do this anymore. Man. She can just do them. This band is in 8 minutes, 23 seconds, they've made me feel, very emotional, very sad, very excited, very like energized by the heaviness, lost in the lore, nostalgic about the throwbacks. That is a real journey. And I said something, I've said it a couple times about Sleep Token. I've said in the past, their music demands to be felt. And I think I want to add on to that. It demands to be felt because you and what you feel are the final piece of the songwriting process. There are a lot of bands who deliver great music and it's wrapped up with a bow and it's brilliant. And I'll never stop appreciating it. But it's meant for you to consume. It's the difference between active and passive communication. There are bands that speak at you, and then there are bands that require you to contribute. And this band, I truly believe, and this gets into a little bit of a out there thinking, but I truly believe that there are bands, artists, and pieces of music that require your emotion. And that's why they demand it so, because it is the final piece of the puzzle. It's the final piece of that songwriting process. It's not quite the same without it. The irony with that is you don't have a choice because it demands it. And it's a beautiful thing.
It's symbiotic.
Yeah. Now, I said on a couple tracks back that you and I would have some final thoughts about things, and I think what I just said is probably the best way I can summarize this album and what the artist does. Do you have any more?
I don't right now.
Besides, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I don't right now because I think in order to actually have any kind of final thoughts, this requires way, way more processing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot of people who are really into this band who can do one listen and, you know, feel complete, I guess, in what you think about it. So I need to listen to these songs way, way more, which it will happen. I need to look at lyrics. I need to have fun with finding those Easter eggs, you know, and experiencing that side of the listening too. And then maybe on the other side of it, I can have some really like brilliant final thoughts. But right now I just feel a bit stupefied just because of the intense impact that all of this has had on me.
It's incredibly overwhelming, and it should be. It's designed that way. But speaking of what you just mentioned, I think, look, first of all, big thank you to you, because I know this doesn't come easily to you. This is not something that you're a person who prefers to be about 400 meters away from the limelight. So
yeah, I typically play games.
She does. I'll put a link to her channel. They're
that's
pretty good. You should have a look.
No. That was oh god, that wasn't a shout out to me, but
I think you deserve a plug. But
thank you.
Big thank you to you, because you've made this. As much as I enjoy speaking about music and thinking about music and feeling music, the only way to top, I feel, what were quite magical experiences on Take Me Back to Eden was to do it this way, and it kind of fell in place the right way, and you just were up for it. So big thank you to you. We've spoken off and on, and B will definitely be falling into reactions in the future, as and when she feels comfortable, and as and when it's artists that she feels like she wants to contribute to. So that'll absolutely be happening. And speaking of consuming and worshiping more, to have those thoughts, we're going to be sitting down at some point soon to not listen to music, but to just talk about this album with a bit more context, with a bit more experience. And if you're interested in that, please let us know. But that's something we're going to be doing in kind of a different format. It will be on this channel, and we look forward to sharing that with you soon. I keep looking at the length of the songs, and I keep going August 23rd. Keep looking at all the songs, and I keep thinking, are they like, is that a date? Is that a signifier? Are they not?
Oh, it's happening.
Are they not quite done releasing music? Because that's the only way they could really shock us again, is if this isn't it. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I think, yeah.
Anyway.
Can I say something nice?
I guess. Yeah, babe, of course.
Well, I feel like you're always being so kind with your words towards me, and I get flustered, and I maybe don't convey just how much that you mean to me also. And what a privilege it's been over the last several years of you having this channel and being able to support you, even in the beginning when we didn't know each other, but just to be a distant viewer, and then becoming friends, and maybe like sprinkling in song suggestions and things like that, and watching you grow and do your damn thing and help us all have a damn better day by having this channel that I know at times maybe doesn't reward you the way that it should. I'm just grateful that I've been able to be kind of behind the scenes and just cheering you on and watch you grow and become even better and better. And now kind of this like full circle moment that I so did not ask for to be sitting in on these now. It's pretty surreal, but as shy as I can be about it and as nervous as I get about it, I do consider it a privilege, and I'm very grateful that you asked me to be a part of this particular experience, and thank you to all of you for encouraging that as well.
God, between you and this band, you're going to break me today.
Well, now it's your damn turn.
Well, I think the lesson you can take from this is if you want a really beautiful, perfect wife, you got to start a reaction channel. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. We'll catch you soon. Promise. Have a damn
good